Matt Carpenter, the Cardinals infielder, joining us on the program. Matt, what are you thinking when you're hearing this stuff, when you're on hold?
I mean, that's pretty amazing stuff there. I'm not sure what's running through my head when I hear something like that.
Well, we have our Traeger grill. We have Meat Friday, and so we're always cooking stuff. So we just had it. We didn't have theme music, and that's why we have some people who've offered up their. Can you sing at all?
I was just about to say, I'm glad you didn't ask me to sing. Yeah, I mean, I think I can sing, but only when nobody's listening.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And we think we sound really good when nobody's listening. It's when they start to listen where you realize we're not any good. What is your walk-up song?
Well, I've actually got three, and the three, it's Turnpike Troubadours, Long Hot Summer Day, Cody Jinks, Loud and Heavy, and the Band of Heathens, Hurricane.
The Troubadour, is Jason Isbell, is that the Troubadours?
No, that's a different guy, but also a fan of his as well.
Oh, okay. Wait, so how do they decide which walk-up song do you have?
Well, I just rotate between at bats, so, each at bat is a different song, so they just kind of keep the crowd on their feet, keep them guessing.
What's the worst walk-up song you ever heard, whether it's a teammate or an opponent?
Oh, geez. You know what? Currently right now, and I hate to put him on blast, but Colton Wong has one of the worst ones going right now, my teammate. The thought behind it is great. It's like he's from Hawaii, and it's kind of his native song, but the actual song will just make you want to pull your hair out.
What is it?
I don't even know what it's called. It sounds like something off The Little Mermaid.
Maybe it is.
But you know what? I think it's a great thing for him, and it's a great thing for Hawaii. It's just not. I guess if you're not from Hawaii, it's just tough to understand.
And it might not be that intimidating as well, because you sort of want, when Rivera came in, it was Enter Sandman, like you knew, like the game was over. Here comes Mariano Rivera. You want something that really kind of feels like it's got intimidation attached to it a little bit.
Right, and I think that's what it's missing. It's missing the intimidation factor.
How do I introduce you as far as a position goes?
It's a great question. I think currently you could say first base. If you'd asked me that 3 months ago, it might have been a tougher answer, but I think that first base is a good position to say currently.
How's you got hit the other night, right?
Yeah, I did.
Did it leave a bruise?
Yeah.
Did it leave a mark?
It did. I got a nice little Rawlings baseball seam across the top of my hand, but no injury, no broken bones, so we live to play another day.
How do you know if it's intentional or not?
I think that you just have that feeling. Like for example, that particular at bat. I mean, I just there's definitely no intention there. I mean, this is a guy that has got a pretty good sinker that runs pretty heavily on lefty on lefty. He's trying to pitch in, and it just got away from him, But you can tell, it's almost like, I swear, when you're in the batter's box, it's happened to me a few times in my career, you just can almost tell as he's delivering the pitch, their eyes and their sights are just in a different spot when they're throwing at you as opposed to when they're actually trying to execute a pitch. So it's pretty obvious when you're in the box. You just get that feel.
Wait, explain that to me. Of what do you see when you think they're coming at you?
So, you've got what I like to call them is your visual lanes of where you're trying to hit the baseball. And when a pitcher, arm slot hits that lane and you're tracking whether it's going to be a ball or strike, when a guy is throwing at you, it goes into a completely different lane, a lane that just instantly tells you, okay, something's different here. And then that ball just comes bearing down in on you on your rib cage or your head, wherever it's headed. And it's just got a different feel. I mean, you can just say, okay, that was intentional.
What is that feeling like right before you get hit?
It depending on how hard the guy's throwing, it can be a whole array of emotions, starting with panic to, obviously fear, and then if it makes contact with you, then the very next emotion is pain.
Who would you not want to, like, nobody wants to get hit, but if I said I'm going to let you pick who hits you and who you don't want to hit you, who would be the two pitchers?
Oh, geez. I think if I'm going to not be hit, I'm going to have to go with my teammate Jordan Hicks, who's currently throwing 105. I got to catch his balls at first base every now and then. I don't even like catching them, let alone getting hit by them. And then if I'm going to be hit, I mean, I would take any knuckleballer in the game of baseball currently if there is still one.
How hard does Hicks throw over to first base?
It's borderline, insane. Like it's borderline. Like I have conversations with him about like we've got to step it down a notch when you're throwing me the baseball.
It borders on borderline abusive there because it looks like you're just saying, "Thank God I caught it. Thank God I caught it."
Every time I catch his throw, first of all, I got to look in the glove to make sure it's in there, and it's just like complete relief that I actually caught it, saw it, it didn't hit me. We got an out. All those things go through my head after the guy throws me the ball, and I have to tell him every time he gets a comebacker, they happen pretty often because guys don't square them up. And as soon as the ball is hit, I will scream at the top of my lungs, "Easy!" And then it like kind of settles him down, and then he throws it easy, but it's 97.
He's Matt Carpenter, the Cardinals infielder / first baseman and MVP candidate. If I would have told you back in mid-May, hey, Matt, I'm going to talk to you in August, and you're going to be one of the top 5 MVP candidates in the league, your reaction would be with 33 home runs?
I couldn't have. I'd be lying if I said that I would think that was a possibility. I've said, to many people that, who I was in April and in May, I didn't feel like was going to be who I would be at the end of the season. I never really lost the confidence in myself to go out and produce. I knew I was healthy. I knew I was going to turn the corner at some point. But if I had told you that, or if anybody would have told you that I'd be where I am at or currently, I don't think that I'd be telling the truth if I'd have said I would have guessed that.
You deserve the MVP?
There's so many great players in this league. There's this big game of baseball right now is full of young superstar talent that can do it all. Just complete 5-tool guys. And, just to be in a conversation with them, I'm very humbled by that. And to be completely frank, I'm just not thinking about it. We've got a team that's making a late push here to try to get in the postseason in October, and that's my sole focus. And, I'm going to keep it that way.
This making your own salsa thing has gotten more headlines than you being an MVP candidate, Matt. How did that come about?
You know what? It really has. The crazy thing was just kind of how it started. My dad, brother, and I have been making salsa for a long time. Probably my dad's been making it ever since I was a kid, and I've enjoyed it. Then I started making it probably 7-8 years ago, just on my own. And really how this thing kind of blew up was one road trip. Teammate of mine, Adam Wainwright, was on the DL, and he's a huge gardener. And I told him that if this was going to be the last season I was ever going to get to play with him, that I wanted him to show me the ropes of gardening. And when I went on the road back in early May, I came back from the road trip, and Adam Wainwright had came over to my house, playing in the garden in the backyard. Teammate of the year, just huge teammate points. And I was obviously thrilled and started making salsa out of my new garden in my backyard. And it just coincided with me getting hot at the plate, the team starting to play well. And I've just been producing mass amounts of salsa and bringing it into the stadium every day. And we've kind of just ran with it.
Did they sell it at the stadium?
They do not. It's currently just for player consumption.
Oh, okay. MVG is what I'm going to give Adam Wainwright, most valuable gardener.
That's a good call.
Yeah, MVG. Yeah. But, are we going to start mass producing this? Are you being serious about your salsa?
You know what? It's potentially a possibility. There's nothing set in stone yet, but I could see it being something that could be available to the public one day.
Oh, you have to, especially now. Take advantage of this MVP caliber season. Then they sell it at the ballpark. Big Papi made money. with his hot sauce?
Yeah. So I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I'm not counting anything out yet.
All right. I'll leave you with this. The best pitcher you homered off this year was who?
Oof. I'm gonna have to go with Corey Kluber.
Yeah, he's a bad dude.
He's nasty.
Yeah.
I have to. It's kind of a stroke of luck. Some good salsa.
It was a stroke of luck?
You know, I mean, the guy's just nasty. I mean, he threw a pitch that, one of those home runs where you surprise yourself.
Yeah.
And that was definitely one of them.
Well, congrats so far, Matt. It's been a great year and certainly keeping the Cardinals in the thick of things. And I'm sure your name will be on the short list there of MVP candidates, and maybe you win it. But more importantly, cash in on the salsa there. That could last you a little while after the baseball season's done.
Dan, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Matt. That's Matt Carpenter, Cardinals first baseman / infielder. I think he's played third. He's played some second and first in the National League in home runs. Good for him. Good stuff.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.